Greetings. Now, in this video, I'm going to tie a flying fire ant. Now, ants are one of the most plentiful terrestrials out there. All fish eat them. They're always in the water, always falling from trees. This one is a size 16. I'm tying it for trout, but I could tie it for bluegill, same pattern, maybe on a size 12. Smallest would be a 14, and that's pushing it. It's a very easy fly to tie, but there's some tricks to it. I use UV to coat the tail end and the head, and you've got to use a red underdubbing to build it up. If you use black and then try to cover it with a red floss or something, that black will bleed right through and you won't see any red. So you got to use a red or a light dubbing to build up the humps on the ant. I use CDC for the wings, so you're going to want to use a appropriate floatant for that. You're going to need floatant on this fly because with the UV coating it's a little heavier, but I've tested them after treating them and they float just fine. It's one of my favorite flies, and everyone ought to have a few ant flies in their box. I really love this pattern, so I hope you enjoy the video. Here we go. We're going to tie a flying fire ant. Okay, we are going to tie this flying fire ant. This size 16 hook. I'm tying this one for trout. If I was tying this for bluegill, I might go to a 12. Smallest would be a 14. Okay. Now we're going to build up this back portion with some reddish dubbing. Then I'm going to tie some red floss around it. If I were to use darker dubbing like black to build up the back, that would wipe out the red color when I put UV on it. So you want a base dubbing that's reddish or lighter. Like that. Cut off some of these dubbing stragglers. I should have tied this floss on first. I forgot. That's okay. Tie it on now and do the same thing. Another straggler there. Get it untangled. Spin it a little, kind of hold it together. Yeah, bring that back over the dubbing. Just keep building that up. Sometimes floss will get away from you. Yeah, that's about right. Now we tie that off and trim it off. Okay. And the next step is, well, first, just so this holds together, I'm going to throw a couple of half hitches on it. Now I'm going to take some of this thick UV. I'm going to put on 2 layers. Okay, and put a second layer on so that's fairly smooth and shiny. That looks pretty good. Got it. Okay. Now the next step, take some of this Semper Fi straggle legs, just a real small piece of it. And just take a few wraps of this. Right there. It's 3 or 4 wraps. That's all you need. And we trim that off. Okay. Next, we'll take some hackle. I'm going to use a piece of Cree hackle. Use anything you want. I like the color of this for these ants. want this hackle on there and help it float, because with that UV it had some weight, but I've tested these and they float just fine. Okay. And next, I'm going to cut a little notch in that hackle on top. That'll make room for the wing. For this wing, I'm going to use 2 of these CDCs. Tie them right on top. Trim them off. Build this platform up just a hair. Like that. And cut these off about body length long. Okay. Next, we'll take a little kapok stubbing, black. Because I don't, let me adjust this a little. Come on. I want a real tight amount of dubbing on there. The kapok's works pretty good for that. Build that head up just a little bit, maybe a hair more. Okay. Now I'm going to whip finish. Okay. And the last step, similar to what we did before, I'm going to put some thick UV on that head. put 2 coats. Cook that. And put a 2nd coat on. Like that. And to make sure I didn't get any in that eye, clean that out. There we have it. Flying fire ant. This is a great fly. Thanks for watching. Click that like button.